So last week, these aliens walked up to me, said you're coming with us, and abducted me. A ship flew over my head with a suction beam and pulled me off of my feet reluctantly. Next thing I knew, the ground had disappeared. I was on a table, two of them were sitting near. One walked over, leaned down and said, listen here, we come from a different time and a whole different year, a different world and a whole other galaxy. From your species' very inception, we've been dabbling. We've witnessed the greed, incompetence and savagery. You're some of the strangest beings we've come across in our travelling. All the while, man, I was in a daze by the very thought of aliens. I've always been amazed, but I couldn't think straight. I was lost in his gaze, his giant eyes filled with what looked like inner space. What do you want from me? I questioned him. He reached out his hand, said no need for questioning. Your species is in grave need of rescuing. This is our attempt at savior, so let's begin. He leaned forward, pressed his hand to my face, and at first I thought I was having hallucinations. The room twisted, light was running through the place, and next thing I knew I was in a completely new location. I heard his voice say this is the year 2030. I was in a city, the skies above were very murky. It looked like the world had been through an apocalypse. Buildings had smoke rising, crumbling and dropping bits. He spoke again, the future you see will ensue. The greed and ignorance of your kind is spilling through. Most of what you've been taught to believe isn't true, but with our help a better future is still in view. The system you're living in is broken, and the masses need to be awoken. The powers of your leaders need to be revoked, and the time has come for a real change to be put in motion. Suddenly the scene went black and I was in my bed, opening my eyes, his voice still ringing in my head. All I could hear was the very last thing he said: return to Earth and see that the message is spread.